All right. All right. We're back. We're back with another of whatever this is. I still haven't named it. I have a couple ideas, but it's just whatever it is. I have it's a different background today. Similar though. I'm still in like the forest category. I'm probably going to go through a couple more of like the woodsy vibes. You got differences of trees today, kind of in a field. It looks like they got me like set up in a field. And watch this. This is the really special part of this. I don't know if I showed this last time. But watch this. Watch. It's almost like the ground is like a green screen too. I can be way back here. So I'm kind of glad that this is the field one today because I did want to show this off. I did want to show off this feature is that I can. It's like a green ground. Yeah, the ground. The ground is green, so I can do that stuff. But yeah, all right. That's enough about my background. Okay, enough about that. I don't know. All right, stop. Okay, so today, I got some gripes. Guys, that's really what it comes down to. It's just a yogi. I'm just griping. I'm griping. Is that a verb? Yeah, I'm griping. And today's gripe is how we kind of just gave in to the capitalistic aspect of this practice and how it was kind of absorbed into the machine of capitalism. And let me tell you, I'm not anti-capitalist, all right? I'm very far from that. I promise you that. But when it comes to something like meditation, how did we let that, of all the things, a spiritual, even just spiritual practices, of all the things, how did we let that become the thing that was sold, that was monetized? It blows my mind. It really, it tears me up a little bit because it was that thing that was so humble. It was so humble. It was so removed from the hustle and the bustle. It was outside of that. And yet it allowed people to enjoy and utilize it to kind of integrate it into their everyday life and have that be the thing that grounded them, that brought them peace in the moment, that brought them the ability to tap into the presence, the knowledge that they were the source of their feelings of love and joy and bliss, and they could really kind of let those things shine, let those things glow. And instead, somewhere along the line, I would have to do like much more research because it started with, yeah, we know the Lululemons and those kinds of things, but there might have been some companies before that kind of led into it. And now it's everything. There's Nike yoga, there's Under Armour yoga, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't be allowed to sell the things that we should need for any kind of practice. I get that. I want them to be involved because if it is going to be nicer brands, then we would expect that quality of the practice that we're utilizing to be kind of matched by the quality of the things that we get to use for the practice. And it's not that way. It's not that way. It's not holistically done. It's not thought of as something that's sacred. It is thought of as just strictly business, and yet has its, big grubby hands in on this sacred science that could be healing so many people if it wasn't sold as like, you can't go to a yoga class. You can't study yoga. You can't learn about that unless you have yoga pants, a yoga mat, a yoga block, a yoga strap. I got news for you guys, and this is going to ruffle some feathers. I already know. It's just a block. It's just a strap. It's just a mat. They're just spandex pants. Or are they called spandex? Are they spandex? Leggings? I don't know what they're called, but that's all they are. They're not yoga pants. Is this a yoga sweatshirt? Like, it's so silly, guys. When we think about it, it's like, how did we take that sacred word that, by the way, there was never, in all the stories, just imagine, it was like, oh, Hanuman, this great yogi, made sure before he left his house to go on this mission that a yogi would go on, he grabbed his mat. No, my God, what? Vashista, this incredible sage, this yogi, enlightened man, right before he did this unbelievable thing and gave this amazing, wise advice, first, he made sure he had his block and his strap with him. What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, how do we get here? That's the gripe today. How do we get here? How do we get here? How do we It's like it's not a sport. It wasn't going on for 1,000. Imagine like the word baseball was a science. And I know it's silly. Just follow me. All right. Just, okay, guys, it's an analogy. Just listen. Hear me out. 1,000 years ago, there was a guy that started a science called baseball. And when you did baseball, this sacred, to him, it was a sacred practice where you would stare, your eyes would gaze at one specific thing, and your mind would focus on one clear-cut understanding. And while you did that thing, you would feel these feelings of bliss and peace wash over you, and it was healing. It was helping so many people. And now, baseball, they set up a field and they swing a bat at a ball and home run, yay! What? We'd all be wondering the same thing. And that lineage of true baseballians, baseballians. I like that. Baseballians. The baseballians, the real lineage of baseballians would be like, what did you guys do to my sacred science, to the founder, to the original teacher of this? What did you do to this? How did we get here? And you could only imagine if you had real yogis, from 1,000 years ago, and you showed them what it was today, they would not have any belief. They would not have any, there's no comparison. There's no thing like, when does the yoga start? Oh no, this is them doing the yoga now. Hey, warrior 1, warrior 2. Guys, I teach the movement, okay? I do teach the movement. I find it fascinating and intriguing and difficult to integrate the teachings into the practice while we're doing the movement. That's something that I want to really share every day. I do teach the movement, okay? But much more importantly, I teach the science. And that's 90% of the teachings when you're practicing with me and other real teachers. They might have you do sun cells. Then they'll also have you do shavasana. That's a yogasana. That's a posture. So pump the brakes, all right? I am talking about something that I do have to utilize too, right? But I'm exposed. I want to talk about the greed of it. How did we get here? If we're just allowing that, we allowed that, not like me specifically or you specifically, but I mean, like as a culture of spiritual practitioners or meditative practitioners, we allowed it to be turned around and then sold to us. Like we didn't know what it was. This is another point that I want to make, because meditation, I keep bringing this up. Yoga is meditation. Okay. It's one of the it's the seventh of eight limbs. It's one of the highest practices of the science, is to get to that point where you are in a meditative state. Whether you're sitting, you're walking, you're laying down flat with your eyes closed, that's the state we want to try to get into. Okay. Now, meditation has also become modernized, and that has also become very, very popular. I love it. I want everybody meditating. I absolutely adore it. But what I don't understand is how did we get, when meditation is just, you have to do it. Nobody can do it for you. What do I need for? Nope, nothing like that. You just have to have clear-cut understanding, and you have to have a lot of focus and discipline mentally, and you have to want it. You really have to want those goals that we talk about. When the Buddha was asked, what is the goals of meditation, or what do you gain from meditation? He said, it's not about what I gain, it's about what I lose. And then he gives a list. This list is, very well known. I'm not going to say it verbatim because I don't know it verbatim, but I lost depression, I lost anger, I lost stress, I lost worry, I lost my fears, I lost thoughts of division, so on and so forth. So when we talk about meditation, what do you need for meditation? You need that knowledge. You need that understanding. You need that want, that drive, that yearning for that, to lose those things. Okay. How did we get to the point where it's like, no, you need a headset and a helmet and a face mask, and it does, yes, it might force you into that focused, and like neurologically, it might be appeasing to you, but don't you want to practice it for yourself? That's what I want for you. That's what I want for everyone. I want everyone to practice it by themselves. I don't want you to go to a place, check in, pay money, sit down, hook up to machines, feel it and not know what the hell's going on, get up, leave, and think, wow, that felt great. I'm going to have to come back and do that again. It's when we say, yeah, we've just completely given in to the spiritual machine. It's a machine now. We're cogs in that machine. I don't want you to be a part of it. I certainly don't want to be a part of it. The original teachers of yoga and any spiritual or sacred science, they didn't want you to be a part of it. So why don't we try to figure how we can stop this? That's what I'm all about. I'm probably, just so you guys know, if I go disappeared, all right, no, it's but no, we have to have a way where we collectively say enough. I'm good with this amount of yoga pants that I have. I'll be good until they're torn and worn. Because think about it, when a yogi was actually approaching the path, and I know we're not all looking for like enlightenment and that absolute goal of oneness, okay? I get that. We might just want to taste the smaller incremental components that we can wrap our minds around. Well, the original teachers, just so we can have that to reflect upon, they were wearing one robe. They were given a single robe. And yeah, if it tore or if it was filthy and they needed to wear another one while it was being cleaned, those kinds of things might be there, like a backup robe. I don't know. But it's not to say they had a robe for different every day of the week. Nowadays, unfortunately, we do have a lot of people that wear the idea of humility and that they're a spiritual person, and yet they show physically the complete opposite. But we're not paying attention. We're not paying attention to that. When we see, things like Yoga Journal, when we see things like Lululemon, when we see these massive yoga festivals and there's things being sold throughout the entire thing, and the practice is all physical, it's only physical. Where do we say enough? When can we say, I want people to enjoy peace. I want people to know love. I want people to know calm and serenity and a soothed state of mind from their own practice. Not come back and see me next week or come back and see me in a couple days. Yes, I hope you come practice with me on a mat. We will stay in great shape. We will stay pliable. Our bodies will stay limber and durable, and our posture will be good late in life. We will use the asana to the best of our ability for those things. If you want to get stronger, go into handstands, we can go there. Let's go. Absolutely focus our mindset towards an excellence of a posture while we integrate meditative focus. If you want to go down into splits or do the wildest, expansive hip opening postures, absolutely integrate the meditative focus, the sacred teachings, while you're doing those postures. And then when you excel and you attain them, you know that at the same exact time, you had that other part of the practice really leading the way. Dropping the thought of the ego doing it, the thought of the claim of the posture, the claim of the attainment of the posture, and just the observance of the body enjoying a range of motion and balance and strength that it may never have known otherwise. There's a way to enjoy the physical practice and still have the glorification of the sanctity of the practice. The original teachers, the original stories, where it came from. We're the ones that decide where it's going. That's the whole, all right, there you go. There's the exclamation point. Gripe closed. We're the ones. We're the ones that decide where it goes from here on out. So let's team up. Let's make sure that we got this love for one another, this hope for a better example of what the practice means, what it can do, And as long as we are doing that collectively, the big businesses, the big organizations, those entities that are just trying to make money off of the same collect, it's not going to work anymore. It's not going to work. Because that is something that when we all join together, I don't think we're going to disagree. We say, you want peace of mind? Me too. Do we want peace of mind for the other people? Yes, me too. Just me doing that made me want to reference. Look at this. And you guys hear, I have background. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. There's birds. Huh? See this? Come on. It's all random. It's all AI generated. The birds are meant to go off at different times, so they all sound real. I'm pretty happy with the programming. Look at that. There's no clipping, nothing. Unreal. All right. Well, yeah, that's it. That's it for today. I don't know. I want to sit down and do like the hour one. I'm going to sit for that and probably have a more casual background. Won't have the birds, I don't think. I'll turn that off for that one, so it's not like a distraction in the background. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm trying to think. No, that's it. Have a good one. Peace.